Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Tamara, and this is Beauty Within the Soul. So today's video, I am calling it, Are You, me, Too Poor to Retire? And to be transparent, right now, I'm navigating that question in real time. So next month, I'm going back to work part-time. Something I wasn't planning on doing, or I was hoping not to do, but I knew eventually I would have to, because we went through pretty much all of our savings. But like so many people my age or my husband and I's age, I come to realize we're just not in a place financially to stop working completely. So I'm going to talk about this today because I know I'm not alone. Growing up, we were told a certain story about retirement. You work hard, you save diligently, and then one day you coast into your golden years, sipping iced tea on a porch swing. Oh, that sounds really good. But that dream isn't coming true for many of us. Life happens, medical bills, raising kids, the market crashes, helping out family, rising cost of everything. And suddenly, retirement doesn't feel like a relaxing ending. It feels like a cliff. You look at your bank account and realize, oh my gosh, this isn't enough for the next 20 or 30 years. And in my case, with my recent health problems and issues that's affecting my ability to work, hopefully that will change because I'm having surgery in a week. And once I get back and up and running, I'll be doing a lot better. But you know what? I'm finding myself staring at the hard truth. We are too poor to fully retire. It's just that. And as I said, next month I am going back to work part time. It's not what I pictured at my age, but it's what's necessary. And honestly, I'm trying to embrace it. I've learned that there's no shame in working longer or even starting something new later in life. Look at this YouTube channel I'm doing. Okay? I'm far from being monetized, but I'm working on something new. We're still valuable, even though we're in our 60s. We're still valuable. We still have our skills. We can still contribute to society. But there is a thing called emotional. Emotionally, it's been pretty hard. I went through phases of embarrassment, because I lost my job early on, even though it was a toxic environment and I embraced losing my job. I even felt guilty, because I wasn't working, and then I felt guilty because I was enjoying starting not having to work for a little bit, but thinking maybe I didn't plan it well enough. Well, who plans getting fired from your job, even though it was a toxic environment? Nobody plans on that, you know? And I know my husband and I have made some financial mistakes in the past, and so we should be a lot further than what we are. But like I said, life happens. But you know what? I'm learning this. There is no shame in surviving. There is no shame in adjusting. If going back to work gives us a peace of mind, if it pays the bills and eases the pressure, then you know what? It's something to be proud of. As if that decision wasn't big enough, now there's more uncertainty. My husband's boss may be shutting down his business, which means he might be out of work too. We don't have all the details yet, but the writing's on the wall. And suddenly, our plan to rely on his income while I work part time may not work out after all. So now we're asking ourselves, what are we going to do? So we've been brainstorming everything, Can he find something locally quickly? Should we both go full time for a bit? Are there ways to reduce our expenses even more? And I know that he has been trying to find other jobs, but There's a thing called um, being, what do I want to say, discriminating against age. A lot of businesses and they don't want to hire anybody in their 60s and 70s, and that's discrimination. So we're working on things like this. It's been stressful, but you know what? It's also teaching us something powerful. We can't take our income for granted, not at this age, not in this economy. So here's the truth that no one wants to say out loud. A lot of people our age are too poor to retire. I know several people, and I've talked to people in stores just in conversations and talking with people, and they're the same way. Even with Social Security and pensions and some savings, it's just not enough, especially with the inflation and housing and insurance and healthcare costs climbing every year. Oh my goodness, health insurance for us is over $2,000 a month. How can people survive? We have to have medical insurance, and that's a huge expense. So, what happens? We delay retirement, we go back to work, and we downsize. We start budgeting harder than ever before, and I know my husband and I are still working on that. We hustle in our 60s like we did in our 30s. And though it's exhausting, it's not uncommon. You know what? You're not lazy and you're not alone. We're not lazy and we're not alone. We're all surviving. This is not failure. So, some things that I'm learning and that I want to share with you all is that flexibility is a survival skill. Plans change, we have to pivot. Also, work hard, I'm sorry, work can be a lifeline, not just financially, but mentally too. It gives us structure, it gives us purpose, and even a social connection. Some of us need that social connection, and I know I do. I miss not being able to talk to my coworkers on a daily basis. I love my family, but there's other people that you want to talk to. So there is a social connection that is built in with that. And it's, you know what? It's all also okay to be scared. I'm not going to lie. I was nervous about this next chapter, but I'm also choosing to stay hopeful. You know what? We also have value. Even when we feel left behind, we're not done yet. Our wisdom is needed and our work ethic matters. There's a lot of teenagers out there, a lot of a lot of young adults. Their work ethic, it's hard to say. Work ethic is not the greatest. They will just ghost you. They ghost employers. They won't just show up for work. They want to go to a game, so they say, oh, I'm sick. You know, they don't have the work ethic that we did in our, teens and 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s. So it's a bit different. So our work ethic matters in life. So, you know what? Going back to work is not a failure. Needing to adapt is not a failure. Doing what it takes to take care of yourself and your family, that's courage. So, are we too poor to retire? Right now, yes. But does that mean we give up? Absolutely not. We're going to work smart. We're going to support each other. We're going to keep dreaming, even if that dream looks a little bit different now. And most importantly, we're going to talk about it because silence and shame only makes things worse. So let's keep this conversation going. If you're in a similar place, leave a comment below. Let's lift each other up and share our resources, our support, and our encouragement. Because you're not alone, I know I'm not alone, and let's do this together. So until next time, take care of yourselves. Thank you for listening. I'll keep you posted on how this next chapter of my life unfolds. So, thanks again. God bless. And I'll see you next time. Bye.